Good morning, afternoon, evening, witching hour, if you're into that sort of thing. I know I am. Um, but it doesn't matter what time it is because what matters is that this video is going to be for you. Today I'm going to be bringing you a competitive team building guide. I put quotes around competitive because I am garbage at this game. Team building guide for Pokemon. As you can see, we are on Showdown right now. And I figured out a few things that I want to do for this channel, a few directions to take it. This is going to be one of them. Once a week, I'm probably going to make a team on here, and I'm going to try and get at least top 20 to top 15 with it on the good old ladder. And then if I enjoy it, maybe I'll even try and get top 10, maybe in the top 5. Not saying I'm that good. I probably won't be able to do that anyway because I'm not that good. And the higher you get in the ladders here, the more aggressive the teams are and absolutely insane the predictions get. But that's besides the point. We can deal with that when the time comes. But for right now, let's build a team. I don't know what happened to all my teams. I've only got 2 left, but I had like a good 15 yesterday. So hopefully that doesn't happen to this one. The tier we're going to be doing this in is NU. So go ahead and get that format in there. And I've got one Mon in particular that I really want on this team, and she's actually going to be the setup sweeper as well. Miss Magius. Go ahead and throw a life orb on her so we can maximize her damage. And then the moves that I'm going to give her is actually a really old set that I used to run back in like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, maybe even Diamond. Substitute, Calm Mind. And then her other move, Pain Split and Shadow Ball. Pain Split's going to be for longevity. Obviously, we're going to be killing a quarter of our health and then another about 10% of our health every turn with that life orb if we're throwing shadow balls out. And then this suggested spread's actually the one that I was going to give her, so we'll go ahead and throw that on her. 252 into special attack and speed, and she's got the, of course, beneficial speed nature. Timid. And then for the second Mon on this team, it's somebody that I use quite often in the NU tier. The NU tier is usually where I hang out if I play Showdown. And it's a Mon that I absolutely love when coupled with setup sweepers. Lipard, a little sassy kitty. We'll go ahead and give her black glasses. Giving her black glasses so we can do a little bit more damage with her knockoff that I'm undoubtedly going to give her. And then, of course, she's going to get Prankster, because that's one of the most OP abilities in the game, let's be real. And then, of course, as mentioned before, knockoff. I want a Thunder Wave on her. Again to cripple. Encore on her. Again to cripple. And then I'm going to get a U-turn on her. So she can be used as a perfect pivot. And then we want her to outspeed absolutely everything that she can. So we're going to go ahead and give her that. Is that? Yeah, that's already. So the suggested spread down here is good for her as well. I know it's a little bit boring, but with monsters like these, I don't need to plan for anything, especially at this point in the team building process, because I will undoubtedly have to make edits to this team, which I will record the edits that I have to make after I take it out for a test run, because this team might absolutely suck. Like I said before, I'm not an expert in this by any means, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But we have the Lipard in there. Again, Lipard's fantastic at paving the way for setup sweepers. Um, However, with these 2 Mons, I do have a glaring weakness to Mesprit, specifically Choice Scarf, and then Fairy typing. Miss Magius does cover her fighting weakness, but we're not concerned about the fighting weakness too much yet. So for a role like that, and I also want Stealth Rocks on this team because it is the best move in the game, let's be real. We're gonna go ahead and throw a Steelix on here. Give you leftovers. And then Sturdy, again for longevity. This is going to be here to soak up hits essentially. And then your moves, of course, as mentioned before, I want Stealth Rock. I think I'm gonna go Heavy Slam. All very standard sets. You can probably find these sets on Smogon, scattered about. Maybe in XY, maybe in who knows, Ruby and Sapphire. Who knows? Who knows? And then for the other two moves, I'm probably just going to run Toxic, and we'll give it a stab, as in Earthquake. And it's Eevee spread here. I believe 244 HP, 136 attack, and then 128 special defense is the preferred spread for this thing. This is what I remember. In the 128 in special defense is more for bulky water types, so it can at least hit 2 to 3 hits. Maybe a surf is coming my way. We can live that a little bit longer. And then the nature we're going to go ahead and throw on here is a careful nature. Again, just to buff that special defense, because look at our defense. We're so tanky. So tanky. I'm going to stop doing that. And with the Steelix, he helps a lot, but we still have that glaring weakness to fighting, as I mentioned before, with Liepard, and now Steelix. Uh-oh. But for a team like this, I think I want more hazards, and I think I know who to fill the role with in regards to that. And for this, Garbodor. Garbodor is perfect. I love Garbodor. This was actually the first shiny that I ever caught back in Black and White, the first one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and throw a Rocky Helmet on there. And then Aftermath. By far his best ability. And then, as mentioned before, we want Spikes, because the Spikes are going to allow, again, Mismagius to come in and just absolutely clean up at the end of the game. We're going to throw in Toxic Spikes. Even though Steelix has Toxic, obviously he's not going to be able to Toxic absolutely everybody. And on top of that, this will force the opponent to want to spin, because they don't want just Toxic or Poison running rampant throughout their entire team, which Mismagius also comes back and blocks the spin. We still have to worry about Defog, but that's completely fine, because I do have an idea for the next Mon after this to deal with the Defog users. But as for its moves, we're just going to throw some, some coverage on it. And then something to hopefully increase its longevity. And then once again, it's going to be kind of similar to the Steelix spread, but not actually at all. So I don't know why I said that. And we're just going to go ahead and throw an Impish Nature on this guy. This investment into speed right here allows it to outspeed, I believe, up to base 78 or 80. I can't quite remember. Neutral natured, uninvested Pokemon. So that'll make him a little bit speedier in this tier. So we'll be able to rely on him a little bit more. But like I mentioned before, the problem with Defog, this is my problem solver. It's not actually an NU, but I do love using him. I love all the forms of Rotom, but we're going to have Rotom Fan. And then this is the interesting part, the item, because I'm not actually sure what item I want to throw in this thing. I like having Choice Scarfers on my team, at least one Mon on my team to have a Choice Scarf. So we're probably just going to throw a Choice Scarf on this thing, see how it goes. Again, there's going to be testing. I'll probably record the testing videos. There'll probably be like 2-3 battles, and I'll upload that, and then I'll try and hit the ladder immediately after that. However, Rotom also works out because it's got Volt Switch. Volt Switch forms a core with Liepard's U-turn. So now I have a Volt turn core. I'll be outspeeding mostly everybody. And then Thunderbolt, of course. Air Slash. Maybe pray for some hacks with that. Just kidding. Never ask for hacks, children. and then trick. Trick is once again to just absolutely disable a wall. Because, this thing's also going to be for bulky water types that Steelix can't really deal with. That might scare Garbodor away. Maybe what is that ground frog's name? Seismitoad. Maybe a Seismitoad. I don't actually know if he's in this tier, but if he is in this tier, that's a threat to Garbodor, to Steelix, to multiple Mons, maybe even the last Mon, because I haven't actually decided who the last Mon is going to be on this. The last Mon is usually the hardest for me, because I usually put the bulk of the jobs that I need to do in the first 5 Mons. So the EV spread on this thing, it's going to be pretty easy. We're just going to go, again, with the suggested spread. That's why it's suggested. However, since I am running the Choice Scarf, I think we're going to do Modest Natured. There you go. Just to maximize the attack, brings it up to 339 and 271. Let's bring up a calculator. Times 1.5. See, we got 406 right there. So that's technically its speed with the Choice Scarf on. So anything without a Choice Scarf is to not be feared speed-wise in this. And then for the last Mon, in that short monologue, is that the word to use? I just did about not knowing what poke to use here. I think I might want Hariyama. Hariyama's fantastic. Hariyama's bulky. Hariyama gets an assault vest and a thick fat. He's going to take the fire moves for Steelix as well. He's going to take the water moves for Steelix as well. I do have a glaring weakness to Psychic. Again, the Mespert's going to be a problem. I'm fully aware of that. Also, Pyroar is going to be a little bit of a problem, but Hariyama is going to help out with the Pyroar problem. And then I like to have priority on my team, at least somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and throw Bullet Punch on him. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw Close Combat on him just for absolute pure damage. And then after that, we're going to go another knockoff user. And then Stone Edge for threatening flying types. The flying types more for him. And again, the ice types, that'll be a problem for Rotom. Kind of a problem for Steelix. Just a slew of adverse ability. And then for his EV spread, what do we have here? That's not the correct one. So we're going to want 252 attack, 4 defense, and then all the bulk and the special defense. And we're going to make him an adamant nature. Okay. And hopefully, this team will be able to take care of one another. Oh, but we need nicknames. What do we want to nickname everybody? We'll start from the top. You're Spoopy, so you can be Spoopy. There's a kitty. Kitties are sassy, so you can be Sass Master. Ooh, let's be facetious. Put ass. Ooh. And then Steelix. What do we want to name you, Steelix? We gotta name you something. We gotta name you something good. Oh, how about Earthquake? Great. Garbodor. Hmm. Can we put Lenny faces for a name? Let me go grab a Lenny face. Let's see what we can do. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh my God, we can put it in there. I mean, it might not show up normally. It might just be weird. I wonder if we could put Zolgo text in there. Either way, that's funny to me. And then, we can name you Drake, because it looks like you call people with your strong hand. Hariyama, Hariyama. What's up, team? And now we need a name for them. How about this? Delet this. Perfect. It's for you Melee Hell users out there. So we got to let this. Alright. But as for that, that is this team in a nutshell. Again, everybody's attempting to cover everybody else's weakness in this team. We still do have a big weakness to Pyroar. We still do have a big weakness to a Choice Scarf Mesprit. Um, and even a Choice Specs Mesprit, but we can outspeed that Mesprit most certainly. So those are the two glaring weaknesses, and I'm sure there's other ones that you guys are just absolutely screaming at the top of your lungs right now, if anybody even is, watching this. But other than that, I'm gonna stop this recording and I'm gonna go do some test battles. I'll probably record those and upload those around the same time as this video. But yeah, wish the team luck.